Redneck Garage. Well, today I've been working on the interior parts of the truck, the plastic, the vinyl, everything that goes around the dashboards, and that really sets your vehicle apart from anybody else if you're going to be doing a restoration. Now, I wanted to talk about one of our suppliers called Colorbond. Colorbond is a company that I've had a long relationship with, and I just love their products. In fact, when I went out to SEMA, Malcolm from Colorbond was one of the main reasons that I went out there. He said, hey, you should come to SEMA. He actually got me a pass and everything. Later I actually registered Redneck Garage and I was able to go that way. But he was the reason that I decided to go to SEMA, and here's the meeting at SEMA with him. Hey, David, how are you? I'm awesome, David. Good. He really is a nice guy and has a great product. It was just so nice to meet him at SEMA, talk to him, see some of the products that they were doing. So that was a real treat. Now, they make all kinds of products for restoration that we're going to be using here on the Redneck Garage. You have LVP Refinisher, you've got Adhesion Promoter, and one of the best things that I've ever used is the satin clear that gives it that beautiful sheen that makes it look just like factory when you're done putting the color and the Adhesion Promoter on it. So with that, we're going to be looking at a steering wheel that I'm going to be completely refinishing with Colorbond and what it looks like from the beginning to the end and how much difference it really is in that. So let's get going with the steering wheel. So here's the steering wheel, and it looks pretty janky, just a little worn. So we're going to be disassembling the steering wheel portion of it, cleaning it up, and painting the parts that need to be painted. First thing we're going to remove is the airbag, and it's really pretty easy. There's just two 8mm bolts. I would guess they probably changed that later because people were stealing airbags. Just a guess though, because this is a 2000, maybe on the newer ones. A lot of times I'll take airbags off and they have some kind of security thing on them. So I'm going to see if I can get this thing unhooked. Yeah, it's really pretty easy to unhook. You got one connector here and one connector there. And we'll wash this off and get ready. We'll paint this again. So that'll look nice. And then you got a housing and stuff on here, so we'll take a look at it. Okay, so I want to remove the steering wheel because I need to clean it up and I want to paint all this section here, so it's going to be easier with it off. So this is how you remove a steering wheel from a Jeep, or most vehicles for that matter. We've got to take our nut off here. Now I'm going to remove this nut with my Milwaukee Impact, so watch closely because it's going to come off so fast it'll be hard to see. There we go. The next thing you're going to need is a steering wheel remover and a plate compressor. This is a combination kit. I got this from Harbor Freight for like nothing. $12, $15, something like that. You basically, there's two threaded holes in here. And you're going to find your correct bolts that go in those, which would be these right here, these two. And you're going to put your puller on the right way. Golly, I'm losing my mind. All right, and we're going to want to snug these bolts down just a little bit because you don't want to strip the threads out there. And I'm just going to use my 1/4 inch intake driver. It's not going to take much. You want to center up your puller over the shaft. And it's a 1/2 inch bolt here. There we go. I'm just going to tighten it down until the wheel comes off. And there it is. You want to be careful with your wires, don't mess them up. And now you can put your puller away because you don't need it anymore. Woohoo! It's got two Torx bolts that hold this on. There we go. And I would suggest you take all your nuts and your bolts and put them in a baggie so you don't misplace them, because all this stuff is specialty crap. You don't want to lose it. There we go, it's in a baggie. Now, if I don't lose the baggie, I'll be in good shape. So while I'm out here in the garage working, I thought sometimes it's nice to break up the video a little bit with just some interesting clip. So here's a video of Chris and I dancing at SEMA, showing off our white prowess as far as the dance moves. It was not pretty. It was not a pretty sight. And I think we paid like $24 for a slice of pizza. So these are all the parts of the steering wheel that I've got taken apart. All the vinyl pieces that we're going to be refinishing. You can see on the turn signal lever, it's got lettering, so I didn't want to do any scuffing or anything like that, so I washed it really well, and we've put just some satin clear on it, and it makes it look really, really great, even without even paint. And it's black, so that's good to go. Now we're going to be using the adhesion promoter on the steering wheel. I've scrubbed it down, wiped it down, everything looks really good. Maybe wipe it down one more time. Airbag panel there, and these are just some rubber parts that go underneath. We'll be painting them black, so let's get started on that. Now, because the steering wheel is such a high wear item, you know, every time you drive it you get your hands all over it, you want to make sure to use a good adhesion promoter, and that helps get that vinyl paint to adhere to this, because you don't want it wearing off or coming off. Okay, now that the adhesion promoter is dried up, we're going to be spraying some color on this baby. Now this is the Chrysler Agate, and I mean the color matches just perfectly on the Colorbond product. So it's the Agate, A-G-A-T-E, which is the color that we're using, which is the Chrysler. So everything's looking really, really good. I've got paint on all the parts. They look just outstanding. Letting that dry out before I put the satin clear on. Alright, so I got everything in the satin clear after we applied 2 coats of color, and it looks just unbelievably awesome. You'll be able to see a little bit more when we reassemble it, how much difference there is between the before and after. This does take a little bit of time to dry. We got it on pretty thick because these are pretty good wear items, especially like the airbag module. And once that satin starts to lay down and dry out, it really looks great. So we'll just wait for a little bit. It smells really nice in the garage too here. Woo! Alright, so there she is completed, and I mean, this thing looks like a brand new one. It is awesome, and I'm really, really happy with those results. But you know what, that makes a huge difference in your restoration of, you know, how your piece parts look and how they fit, and it'd be hard to tell that wasn't new. So I'm just really happy with that, and the Colorbond performed awesome. So how cool is that? I mean, it looks gorgeous. And I would say this, thanks Colorbond and Malcolm for having such a great product, make it easy to use, and when you really think about it, it's so much less expensive than like a quart of like SEM or something like that, which is like $80 to $90 just a quart, when you can buy some spray cans much, much cheaper, and they do just as well. Probably a little bit easier to use than using a spray gun and having to go through all that garbage. They work really great. So thanks guys, and we're going to be moving on with the Redneck Garage, getting ready to put this stuff in, do some more wiring, but wanted to give you a little heads up on how to refinish with Colorbond and what a great job it does. I'm David from the Redneck Garage. Keep turning wrenches.